Have you ever noticed a shop you never noticed before? A shop you'd swear wasn't there yesterday? No queue, no customers, just a light, on at an hour when nothing should be open, and a door that opens easily. You won't find it if you go looking. It finds you. This is a story of such a shop. There's a certain kind of man who only feels big when he's making someone else feel small. Rob was that kind of man. It was late on a Friday night, and Rob and his friend Paul were staggering home through the shuttered high street of an English town, drunk, loud, and spoiling for trouble. When a young Asian couple crossed the road ahead of them, the woman clutching the man's arm, Rob saw his chance. He blocked their path and hurled a stream of racial abuse at them, ugly, hateful words, until the pair hurried away into the dark with their heads down. Rob laughed. To him, that was a good night out. Then he announced he needed to relieve himself and staggered off down a narrow side street to do it in a doorway. And that was when he noticed the light. Halfway down the dark little street, one shop window glowed. A sign buzzed and flickered, a ring of red bulbs circling a single word: tattoo. Paul caught up, and being drunk and being the sort of friends who egg each other on, he dared Rob to go in and get a tattoo. Rob told him where to go. Paul double dared, then triple dared, and Rob, who could never let a challenge lie, shoved open the door. Inside, the shop was dim and small, the walls crowded with photographs of old tattoos, a table with magazines of more tattoos. From a beaded curtain behind the counter, an elderly man appeared. He was Chinese, perhaps 70, slight, with a long white beard, and he carried himself with a great and quiet stillness. He said nothing. He simply looked at Rob and waited. Rob, of course, couldn't help himself. He mocked the old man, sneering, putting on a stupid, mocking Chinese voice, throwing more tired insults that he thought were funny. The old man didn't rise to any of it. He didn't frown or answer back. He only smiled, a small, patient smile, and gestured towards the room beyond the curtain. Paul suddenly felt uneasy. He said the old man gave him the creeps and hung back. But Rob, too drunk and too proud to stop now, swaggered through. In the back room there was a single chair beneath a hard white light and a tray of neat, gleaming instruments. The old man offered Rob a book of designs. Rob shoved it away. He knew exactly what he wanted. He yanked his sleeve up over his shoulder, slapped his bare bicep, and told the old man to put a swastika there. For a long moment the old man simply held Rob's gaze, and in that moment something passed across the old man's eyes, a pale film like a shutter quietly closing. It was there, and then it was gone, and it unsettled Rob just enough to break the stare. The old man smiled, nodded, and picked up his needle. And he began. Rob woke the next morning with a pounding head and no clear memory of how he'd got home. In the bathroom mirror, bleary and rough, he noticed something odd. His hair looked darker than it should. He put it down to the light, drank a glass of water, and winced at the cling film taped over his aching arm. He didn't look under it. Not yet. He met Paul at the pub that afternoon, and Paul took one look at him and burst out laughing. His hair, Paul said, looked like it had been dyed jet black and slicked down flat. Rob checked himself in the mirror behind the bar, and for the first time felt a cold flicker of unease. It hadn't been that dark in the morning. He was sure of it. Over the hours that followed, it kept changing. The hair grew darker still and flatter, combed hard into a severe side parting that Rob had never given it. And his arm burned a deep, spreading ache, as though the ink was sinking down into him. By dusk, he'd pulled on a smart black suit and headed out again, and that was when the world began to turn on him. A man passing in the street called him a name. Then a woman, her face full of disgust, spat a word as she went by. "Racist," said one, And then, from somewhere he couldn't see, another voice. Fascist. Rob caught sight of his reflection in a shop window and froze. His hair was flat and hard parted, and beneath his nose sat a small, square, black moustache that had never been there before. His arm was burning worse than before. He knew something was wrong with the tattoo. He ran, he barged through the crowds, past faces that recoiled from him, until at last he found the narrow side street again, and the tattoo shop at the end of it. He clawed at the door. It wouldn't give. He sank down against it, beaten, and his own weight pushed it open behind him. Inside, everything was gone. No photographs, no chair, no old man. Just a bare, derelict room, apart from two small tables, each under one naked bulb. He approached the first table, and on it sat a mirror, and beside it a single sheet of paper with one line written on it, in German that Rob could read even though he had never studied German. Rob's hands were shaking as he picked it up and read the words aloud. "You are what you ink." Slowly he turned to the mirror, and the face that stared back at him was not his own. The slicked black hair, the small square moustache, the cold, dead, hateful eyes of the most reviled man in human history. Rob had wanted to wear that monster's mark. Now he wore his face. He approached the second table. On it was a newspaper front page, yellowed and old, dated the 2nd of May 1945, and across the top of it, in heavy black letters, ran 3 words. "Hitler is dead." He opened his mouth to scream, and a single gunshot rang out.